Nebraska Public Media Sports, Nebraska's home for championship sports, is at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska for the 2023 NSAA Bowling Championships. A great battle to start it off. On the boys' side, it's Fremont taking on Grand Island. And welcome inside, everyone. I'm Larry Putney, along with former Nebraska standout Carla Vandemer. Great to have you with us for this first ever boys and girls Class A and B state championships. And Carla, this sport just continues to grow.
Tremendous growth over the last year. The 2022 season saw 44 teams competing across the state of Nebraska, while the 2023 season grew to 57 teams across the state.
Yeah, so as we said, for the first time ever, we will have boys and girls competing for state championship in Class A and B, and you see in Class A, it's a showdown between Fremont and Grand Island. Great programs, build great teams, and we've got a great one coming your way in Class A on the boys' side. It's the Islanders of Grand Island. They're looking for back-to-back state championships. Everybody's back trying to do two in a row. Only the Tigers stand in their way.
How do you know when you've found your team? They all might look a little different. They might find each other for different reasons. Maybe you're trying something new, or you've done this before. Whether you're winning or just doing your best, when you're on the lanes, they're right behind you. Reunite with your team.
Welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes as we kick off the NSAA Bowling Championships with our first match in boys Class A. 6th-seeded Fremont, number 1 seed Grand Island. Let's take a look at where these two teams come from, both in the Heartland Athletic Conference. Fremont just 50 miles away, GI just out I-80. This is how they got here. Grand Island stayed undefeated and in the upper bracket, in the winner's bracket. Fremont dropped that 3-2 tough match to Grand Island. We'll talk more about that, but worked its way back through the loser's bracket and knocked off Pius 10th to make it to the finals. Let's go to Heath Kramer with the introduction of the players.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sun Valley Lanes and Games for the Nebraska School Activities Association's 2023 State Bowling Class A Boys Team Championship. The NSAA recognizes our premier corporate partners, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, the Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association, and Nebraska Orthopedic Center. Tonight's championship match features the Fremont Tigers and the Islanders of Grand Island Senior High. Congratulations to both teams. Grand Island has advanced from the championship bracket, and Fremont has advanced out of the elimination bracket and will need to win 2 matches to win the state title. Now, let's meet the teams. First, the Tigers from Fremont High School. A freshman, Cruz Offenkamp. A sophomore, Connor Christensen. A freshman, Chase Fowler. A senior, Jacob Fowler. A junior, Mikey Sexton. A sophomore, Carter Vanek. And a freshman, Andrew Wask. The assistant coach for the Tigers is Jess Sorensen, and the head coach is Mark McKenzie. Now the Islanders from Grand Island Senior High. A junior, Cody Cadwalder. A freshman, Brock Kramer. A senior, Jet Hennings. A senior, Caden Kusala. A senior, Braden Lee. A freshman, Ramsey Rathjen. And a junior, Austin Sinsel. The assistant coach for the Islanders is Brad Ernest, and the head coach is Paul Lee.
Well, this should be a good one. Let's take a look at the lineups for both of these teams, and we'll start with the Tigers. They came out of the loser's bracket And this is a team that struggled early in the year, just 4-8 at one point, but they have really rebounded in the second half and made it here to the state championship. Grand Island, on the other hand, they're the defending state champs. Almost everybody back from last year's state title team. Paul Lee has a dynamite squad out of Grand Island. You're going to love watching this team bowl. Should be a good one. We're just moments away from seeing these two teams square off. The boys Class A state championship from Sun Valley Lanes coming your way right here on Nebraska Public Media.
Live sports and documentaries are part of the valued services from Nebraska Public Media. Fans of high school and college sports have a great way to ensure these programs will continue. Join the Nebraska Public Media Sports Partners Club. This is your home for Husker Volleyball, Big Red Wrap-Up, and high school championships. Log on to nebraskapublicmedia.org/sportspartners and explore the benefits of joining. With your support, sports action will stay right here all year long. And thank you.
Back here at Sun Valley Lanes, if you have friends and family across the state, the country, or maybe even the world, they can watch these NSAA high school championships on Nebraska Public Media Sports. Just download the free Nebraska Public Media app. Anyone can watch their favorite Nebraska high school team or athlete. Streaming also supported through Apple TV and Chromecast. You can get that free app at nebraskapublicmedia.org/apps. This is a challenge pattern that these bowlers are playing on, specifically designed by John Lucido, the proprietor here at Sun Valley Lanes. 44 feet long, the ratio 6.25 to 1.
So a typical house shot is going to have a ratio of about 10 or 11 to 1. So this is definitely a more challenging pattern that John Lucido has laid down.
So if you're a league bowler, you play in your local league on the evening, you're used to seeing a ratio of 10 to 1, maybe 11 to 1, something where there's a lot more oil in the middle, which allows you, if you miss inside, the ball skids more.
More forgiving.
More forgiving. There you go. So this is a challenge pattern they're bowling on, so more difficult than what you would typically bowl on. So to start it off, it'll be Grand Island on the left-hand lane. Here's Cody Codwalder. Cody averages 203. He's a junior for GI. Comes in light mixer and does not get the 7 to fall. So starting off on the right-hand lane, the freshman, Cruz Offenkamp. Offenkamp very up the boards. The mixer, and he does get the 7 to trip. So now cleanup work on 27 for Cadwalder. Skin a little bit, not a problem at all. Cadwalder covers the single pin. And now up on the right-hand lane, number 15, Chase Fowler. Fowler is a freshman. Watch him grab at the bottom. Can he hit it? Trips that 4-pin forward.
Not surprising that we have such a strong start for both of these teams.
This young man has such a good-looking game, and he is just a freshman. See it one more time, and you'll see that 4-pin trip forward. Then on the left lane, that was Austin Sinsel. Now on the right-hand lane, another freshman, Andrew Wusk. He's a lefty, also very up the boards, flush. And look out, the Tigers off to a start here. They've got a 3-bagger to open up game 1. Austin Sinsel to cover what can be a very difficult 2-8 spare, that sleeper. And he gets the 2-8 to go.
Sort of picked that up the hard way, too. Yeah. Hitting both of them on the side rather than head on.
Sometimes I don't realize it. This pattern can be, although the ratio isn't as much, it can be kind of slick through the middle of the head. So sometimes, you know, if you're using your 3-6-9 typical spare conversion process, you might have to go 1 or 2 more boards right than what you typically would. Senior Jet Hennings. He comes in a bit light as well. 2-4-5 remaining. Jacob Fowler, he's a senior. Trying to make it 4 in a row. Fowler very up the boards. That time the 7 stands up.
In a Baker game like this, when you start with 3 strikes to begin with, it immediately starts to put the pressure on everybody. Nobody wants to be the one to end that streak, but if he can cover the spare, no problem.
Good job by Jet to run it down.
Jacob talked about how when they saw how much striving to stay mentally in a game and motivated just was so helpful throughout the whole season. Talked about his positive, great cover there, positive team attitude, staying positive mentally, and the asset that brought to the team.
You see Fowler switching to his plastic ball to convert that spare. Love how he goes right at the pins regardless where they are, gets lined up, takes the break out of it, takes the pattern out of it, and goes straight at his spares. A bit light again, so you've seen Grand Island in these first 4 frames just come up a bit light in each of the first 4.
And one of the things that happens in a Baker game like this is they have to read off of each other. They have to pay attention to what everybody's shot is doing so that they can start to make adjustments based on what players before them are doing and what's happening with their ball.
Here's Mikey Saxton. Mikey, just a junior. Mikey's been anchoring most of the day for Fremont in a big shot there. So the first 5 shots in Baker game 1, the Tigers strike on 4 of them. And a good cover.
Both teams staying clean.
So in a Baker format, each bowler on the team bowls 1 frame. Your first bowler bowls the 1st and 6th frame. Your anchor bowler bowls the 5th and 10th frame. And this is the anchor bowler for GI. Great shot, just rings a 10 by Braden Lee. Braden's been in these situations many times before. Used to the pressure of competition at this level. 4-time Pepsi champion.
Such a strong player. 804 high series for Braden, 290 high game.
So good cover, a clean front 5 for GI, a clean front for Fremont as well. The difference, that 3-bagger to open it up has given Fremont a 26-pin lead. This is high-level stuff here. I mean, front 5 for both teams are clean, which means no opens. High pocket, and the carry, another double. That's back-to-back strikes for the freshman Offenkamp. The boards again. Cody trying to get that to flip, and once again, you just see a kind of a late reaction. You wonder maybe tighten up the line a little bit, move their feet a little bit right, maybe move their eyes in. Is it a ball change to something with surface?
You gotta try something.
Yeah. Here's a freshman Fowler.
And that what you try may depend on the player and the type of reaction that they get.
Right. That's gonna be tough to get that 8-pin out. So the first open for either team comes in the 6th frame. Fremont clearly in control here in Baker game 1. Needs to flip, and it does. Good cover by Chase. So now you're in that point where you just opened. Austin, the junior, up at the lane, need to get something going, and he does. Big shot there, and he did get that back-end reaction.
Well, it's such a great opportunity for a leader on this team to sort of, he's been in this position before.
Nearly a 50-pin lead for Fremont. Crossed over. He'll shake his head all the way back to the bench, but take it.
Doesn't always have to be pretty, they just have to fall.
He moved inside a little bit, gets the 6-pin to trip forward, and that also a crossover carry.
Got forgiven just a little bit there.
So back-to-back strikes there for Grand Island. Almost shut him out here with the mark right here by Jacob. And he's got it.
So you saw Jacob using two hands there. That's something that's becoming a lot more popular in youth bowling. More professional bowlers with a two-handed approach. Great strike there for Caden. More professional bowlers using two hands, so it's sort of trickling down to youth bowlers.
The benefit of two-hand bowling is that more speed, more revs, and those two things generate carry. So if you can hook the ball, better angle in the pocket with more speed, look it, it's going to roll it and not get it out. More speed, more angle in the pocket, more carry, the pins fly a little more.
Poses something new for coaches to learn as well, who haven't maybe coached a two-handed player before.
It is so true.
How do you leverage the strengths that two-handed bowling brings to the table?
Lee got the flip there. Nice shot by Braden Lee. They're going to lose this game, but look what they've done here in the back half, Carla, and they've really set themselves up well. Looks like they're lined up now. GI has thrown 4 in a row. The benefit for the Tigers is they've stayed clean. Look at that. This is going to be a clean game 1 for the Fremont Tigers. You have that kind of clean game, you're going to more times than not win. Lee again, back to back. Here is Saxton on the left-hand lane. Great opening game for the Fremont Tigers, 236.
He's lined up.
Yeah, look at that. They go off the sheet 6 in a row, and they will lose game 1, 236, 218. But that's what you want to see. That's the kind of response you want to see after struggling in the first 5. But this one belonged to the Tigers of Fremont. They open it up with a 3-bagger and walk away with game 1.
What do you think about going to college?
I'm kind of scared.
I feel nervous a little bit.
That's kind of a tough one. I'm not really sure yet.
I'm excited for college.
How are you going to pay for it?
To be honest, I don't really know.
That's actually a really good question.
So what if you had a friend you could ask?
Coverage of the NSAA Bowling Championships is made possible in part by Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest, Nebraska Public Power District, Nebraska Bowling Proprietors. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. Nebraska is the historic Haymarket District, not far from here at Sun Valley Lanes and Games. Terrific afternoon as you see the Tigers and the Islanders. Game 1 of the books, getting ready for the second. The crew's off in camp. He is ready in the left-hand lane. We are on lanes 27 and 28 here at Sun Valley. Off in camp has struck his first 2 times up. And make it 3. Boy, just such a basic, simple game. Up the boards, hits his target near the pocket.
And just consistent. Like such a gem for a coach to have a player that's just consistent.
And he's just a freshman. 3 freshman starters on this Fremont team. Little little high, wobbles the 4-pin, and not going to fall. Here's Chase Fowler, another freshman.
A freshman with a high game of 262 and also a couple 250s in there as well.
He's gone strike spare his first 2 and making another 10 back. This is what Fremont is really good at, putting pressure on the opponent early on. And all of a sudden, things just start to tighten up a little bit when you're the opponent. You see the other team beginning to string them. That's what you were in college and you were bowling. It was always important in every game to get up to the cookstore.
Oh, 100%. One of the things that a mentality that we lived by was that strikes win games and spares win championships. So to stay focused, no matter what's happening, stay clean, and keep the pressure on the other team. The only way to keep the pressure on the other team is to stay clean.
Such a great point. A little slower and a little more inside than his teammates. Got that to flip, but again, leaves a 4-pin. Here's Andrew Wusk.
Wusk also a baseball player for Fremont.
And a good spare. Wusk was the hack individual conference champ, Heartland Athletic Conference. Good cover. And once again, GI staying clean. So Fowler now up in the left-hand lane.
And Fowler was one who talked about that pressure. He talked about bowling with a kid from Seward, and every shot that he threw, the Seward bowler matched it. And he talked about how that allowed him to stay focused, find his groove. Oof, tough leave there.
That's a result of missing maybe a little bit inside. The ball doesn't pick up, skids a little too far, and that's the result. And this inside as well, but that held and got the carry, and you see Hennings with the nod. Maybe he's moved a little deeper inside and played straighter up the boards.
His speed helps him as well. That ball is going into that pocket with a lot of velocity behind it.
This is makeable. Washout here. Needs to flip. It does, but not enough. First open frame for the Tigers in 14 frames. Big opportunity here for GI to seize the lead. Pretty good shot. Got the carry. Big shot by Kusla. Kusla's senior averages 220 on the year.
Mikey Saxton the third up here with a high game of 279, average 192. Another tough leave.
He needs it to flip. It does, but some work left to do. Leaves a 3-6-10.
So this is a place for Mikey where, as much as you want to try to make this spare, this isn't a pretty one to make.
Right.
And so you really want to go for the 2
Get the count.
over trying to make the spare, and just gets 1.
And again, that's a concentration of oil across the middle. We've seen it a couple of times.
Yep.
You pull it inside, you miss inside, it skids a little more. Good cover by Lee. So clean 5 for Grand Island, and they have the lead by almost 30 as we make the flip. First 5 frames are bowled on one lane, then the teams switch to the other lane for the next 5. Back at it here is Cadwalder. That needs to sit. It does, and he gets the carry. That's a big one.
Big reaction, too.
There's a freshman. Hasn't missed yet and still hasn't. How about this? Lights are on, cameras pointed at you, and the freshman stepping up, and he's had 4 in a row.
Making a convincing case for his coach that he's here to play.
Here Here's Sensel, needs to skid, it does, and that's a big double for GI. This is a big shot here. Grand Island has two baggers here. They need one here. Flips high. Ooh. And so we've seen in 3 of the last 4 frames a couple of splits and a washout for Fremont.
Some nasty splits.
Kusel pulled that a bit, knew it off his hand as he did the universal please sit. So he gets the 1 count, and the lead grows to almost 50 now for Grand Island. 195 is the best Fremont can have right now. 195, and already GI with 173 in the 8th. Anything other than a strike here likely means Fremont drops this game. But he got it. So Fremont needs to put some pressure on, throw a few in a row here. And Kusel can answer. Strike here almost wraps it up. So now really all GI has to do is just get pin count in the 9th and 10th, and they walk away with the win here in game 2.
Keep the ball on the lane.
That's right.
Jacob Fowler now for Fremont is heading off to Midland University, planning to bowl for them. He has accepted a scholarship from them. Congratulations to him.
Stay right there in Fremont. Bowl at 30 Bowl. New ownership at 30 Bowl. Jared Roberts doing a great job running the show there in Fremont. Colby Crowell manages the place. And GI stringing them down. This is what you could get from this GI team when they get hot.
And this isn't a throwaway for Fremont right now. You know you're going to be back on this lane, right? And so you need to figure out where your lineup is. Does anybody need to make any adjustments? You stick in it.
Sub in there is GI, and Brock Kramer steps up. Brock is just a freshman. He's a baseball player as well. There's Mikey trying to get that back to the hole, and that's not going to get back. Misses a little bit right. That's a great example of a shot when you're bowling league. You miss a little bit right, it still gets back to the hole.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you carry, on a challenge pattern like this, it's not quite going to get back if you miss 3 boards of your target.
It's more demanding of a pattern.
229 is the answer for Grand Island. .183 for Fremont. So with that win, 229 to 183, Grand Island has evened things up here in this Class A state championship. The Islanders with the answer. Cadwalder puts 10 back.
PBS Passport gives you access to a phenomenal library of drama, history, science, and performance programs. You can watch whenever you want with the PBS app. Passport is the most popular member benefit we've ever offered. But did you know that you can receive access to Passport by donating your car, truck, or boat? Well, you can. So put that vehicle you no longer need to good use. Go online or give us a call right now to donate it. And thanks.
Back here in Lincoln, a couple of teams on track for a state championship. Inside Sun Valley Lanes, we are all knotted at 1 apiece as we're ready to go for game number 3. These two teams squared off earlier today in the brackets, and it was Fremont jumping out to a 2-0 lead in that, and it looked like Fremont was about ready to upset the top-seeded team in Grand Island, and then all of a sudden, GI takes game 3, and they win 3 straight and knock off Fremont 3-2. They send Fremont into the losers bracket, where Fremont came back through and ended up winning it.
You're always guaranteed to have a good match and some exciting bowling to watch when these two are head.
No doubt. There's that light 7 again. Freshman, first time he hasn't struck. Work to do there. 2-7-8.
Makeable. It's not friendly, but it's makeable.
It's makeable. You kind of just maybe on this pattern, you move your 4 boards right. It needs to hook. Again, there you see it across the middle, right? I mean, they're maybe moving 9 boards to pick up that 7 pin. Maybe need to move 12, right? Just a better angle at that 7 pin.
And that's the thing to think about is it a move with your feet, or is it a move with your feet and the ball?
That's not going to get that. That needed to be on the right side of the 2 pin. So this little 3-board move to pick up the 2 and drive it in. So it opened up game 3 here for Fremont.
Chase Fowler now for Fremont. Chase, a multi-sport athlete participating in track, football, basketball, baseball. Lots of opportunities to show his athletic skills.
Crossover. It does, but leaves a 6 pin. Look at over the last, maybe game for Fremont. 4 splits, the washout, some unfriendly leaves. You wonder, is it shot making right now? Are they maybe missing a little bit inside, or do they need to make a move?
I think they need to make a move.
Yeah, I would agree.
Andrew Lusk, 184 average, 274 high game for him.
Got the light mixer to fall. It's a good answer by Lusk there after back-to-back splits. And then a spare conversion. In his 5 frames, Jet Hinnings is clean. He has not opened yet. Jacob Fowler now. He's labored a little bit down lane. Probably a move with your feet right, maybe eyes inside. One of the two, just tighten up the line. That's a great shot. Yeah, Kusla's been big. He has not opened, and now he has 4 consecutive strikes for Grand Island in that 4-hole. Buck.
Not a good start for Fremont.
Fremont really opening the door here. Lee needs that one to go, and he does. 7-10 late but out. And Braden Lee puts back-to-back on the board for GI.
Mikey Sexton, another two-handed bowler, inspired by Jason Belmonte, says he's the reason he bowls two-handed.
Jason Belmonte won right here in this building. It was really cool. Earlier today when the competition began, there was a message played on the big screens here at Sun Valley Lanes from Jason Belmonte.
Oh, how neat.
Wishing all of the Nebraska high school bowlers well. And Jason Belmonte, of course, won the 2020 U.S. Open in this building. So what an inspiration. I mean, what an inspiration he has been for so many two-handed bowlers. He's He has been the gold standard, no doubt.
I mean, when you end up with your own logo, you're doing something right.
Oh, it's a good shot. Good shot by Cody Cadwalder. Just rang a 10-pin. That needs to, yep, rang another 10. .36-pin lead right now by GI. When you get up like that, you just want to keep the pressure on by staying clean, right? Just make the other team come beat you. Stay clean, don't make mistakes, just like that.
Oh yeah, keep it simple.
Yep.
Nothing fancy, just get the ball down as close to the pocket as you can. If you can get a strike, great. If you don't get a strike, clean up what you left.
Uh-oh. So the lead expands now. 47-pin lead for GI. Sensel, that's a pretty good shot right there. Nice ball. Austin Sensel, he lays that down so smooth. He's inside of everybody else. He's not getting bad reaction from everybody else's ball because he's deep enough and slow enough.
Yeah, when you're playing your own line, nobody is pushing your oil down the lane. Like, you just sort of have your own spot on the lane that nobody else is messing with.
It's one of the things that, you know, Bill Straub would focus on so much, and I'm sure when you were bowling too, is get inside of everybody, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the lane isn't going to break down as fast. If you're playing your own line, that's going to be a successful line. If it's working and nobody else is there, you've got that shot for a lot longer than if you're in a spot in the lane where other people are playing in that same spot and pushing the oil down the lane.
There's a good shot, and that's back-to-back now for Fremont. They've got an opportunity here. Tough conversion upcoming here for Jet.
Yeah, Jet, this is a spare that can be easy to make and easy to miss.
Pretty good shot. Just behind the 10-pin. Sent the one in the right direction. See the reaction here. How Jacob Fowler responds after that open in the 4th frame. He's been so good at letting that stuff go, making a good shot coming back. And he got it to trip. That was high flush. Maybe not really flush, but it was high, and he got the trip.
I think he knows he got a little lucky.
Yeah, that was a little higher than high flush. That might have been more through the nose. Well, look out. Boy, Fremont has a chance here. With a strike here by Mikey Saxton, they could steal this one late. Big shot by Saxton. Oh, boy. Believe it or not, Fremont, with the 4 in a row, now has the lead. And Fremont controls its own destiny here in this 3rd.
This is where it's such a great example of how you have to keep your head in the game and how you can't make assumptions about how the game is going to end based on how the game began, right? It was messy in the beginning for Fremont, but they've turned it around.
This one could shut him out. Strike here. Big one. Ooh. Here he comes. Messenger got it. Mikey with the fist pump. Wow, is that big? Watch this. Comes over across late and got it.
Barely. Barely.
Yeah, Lee needs to punch now. 191, so 85 is the best. Mikey really needs 4 pins here. That's gonna do it.
Will he do it again?
5 in a row for a 190, and that's why you are never out of a Baker match. Even with a three-bagger there in the 10th, 185 was the best that GI could have. Fremont already with 190 in the books. And the W in Game 3 goes to Fremont, and the Tigers take a 2-1 lead. And let's look at that again. .175 the final for Grand Island, but 190, and the Tigers take game number 3. And now Fremont is 1 game away from sending this to a decider. Mikey comes up big with a couple of them in the 10th, and Fremont is the winner.
It may be small, but this little bean fuels power. It powers a food industry as a source of protein. It's a fuel that powers diesel engines while reducing emissions. It powers a state economy and bottom lines. And it powers the rest of the world as a Nebraska export. Yeah, it may be small, but we're finding more ways for this little bean to power Nebraska.
Back inside Sun Valley Lanes, there's the score of the first 3. Fremont is leading it right now, 2-1 as we head to the 4th. And this is a best of 5 Baker showdown. So if Fremont were to win this, they would win. And then each team in the double elimination format has 1 loss. And we go again, another best of 5.
We have to keep this exciting, right?
Look what the Tigers are doing here. They're well, that's interesting. He's hit the 7 and 8 forward and left the 2. Four marks and 6 frames for Cody Cadwalder.
He talked about how their theme has been focusing on staying positive, and that's going to come in handy for them right now as they're great shot run.
I got that 7 out that time. That's been kind of success failure for him has been, do I get the 7 out or do I not get the 7 out? He's been right around the pocket. Got it out that time. Good opening mark for the freshman as well, Offenkamp.
You know, in my time in collegiate bowling, one of the things that the incomparable Bill Straub, coach of Nebraska, talked about often was how he can coach the physical game. He can't coach the mental side as easily, right?
Right.
And so Grand Island talking about keeping that positive attitude no matter what, that's the kind of thing that's going to come in handy for them right now. They're coming off of a loss in that last game, a tough loss. They thought they had it.
Yep.
But that mental side of the game is such an important piece that is the most challenging thing to coach and such an asset when the team's got a strong, positive mental game.
Look what they've done. They've come out in this 4th game and thrown the first 2, and here is Jet to make it 3 in a row. That comes in light. Jet is so deep that he has to be very precise. If he misses maybe a board right, he's not getting the reaction he wants. Misses a board inside, it's going to jump a little bit. Good cover. You see he's throwing that IQ. Looks like it's pin up as well. And there's a good cover. So many things that the average bowler doesn't think about when you're trying to match up the condition, which is this is a challenge shot, so 44 feet long. With what kind of ball do you want to throw? Do you want something pin up, pin down? Do you want an asymmetrical ball, symmetrical core? What's going to get down and give you the reaction you need to get the kind of carry you want to get? It's all this equation that goes into really the geometry of bowling.
And everything that you just talked about is, it's so exciting to see high school bowling grow the way that it is and have the things that you were just talking about be a part of it, right?
Yeah. It's a great point.
There was a time when youth bowling was not that complex if you didn't go that deep with it, but as it's grown as a sport, the rigor has just increased year after year after year, and we've got players that are paying attention to the PBA. They're paying attention to types of balls and surfaces of balls and where do I want the pin and all of those things.
Yeah, pin up, pin down.
Yeah, it's
right.
such an exciting time.
That's a great shot. Fowler puts 10 in the pit.
Caden Kusala here for Grand Island talked about how Mookie Betts, the Dodgers outfielder and 2019 PBA event champion, so professional baseball player, also professional bowler, how he really looks up to him because he's great at the two sports that Caden also loves.
Doesn't like Mookie. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of him when he was with the Red Sox, but now that he's a Dodger, I'm a big fan. That's a good shot by Mikey. That's a good answer, too, from Fremont. Look at that. 3 in a row. Big one from Lee, and he's got it. That's 10 straight back. So Fremont with the 3 in a row in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th have taken the lead. It's a big shot here for Cody Cadwalder. Has a chance to double. Oh, nice shot. Yeah, that's one of his better shots of the day. Back-to-back strikes for Cadwalder. Just jumped a little bit on Cruz. Cruz off of camper. Off of camp. He's had the line, hasn't he? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikes in a row for Austin Sinsel, and he's got a really good look right now.
Kind of consistency you want to see in a Baker match for sure.
He has 6 strikes, 2 spares in his 8 frames. Good spare there, but the 3-bagger by GI, and they have regained the lead, up by 10. It looks 117, 115, but with the double the GI has, that's a 10-pin advantage. And now they've extended it. Well, that's a big shot from Jet right there. And Jet had been struggling. He came off of that washout 7-2, the 6 spare. In the big moment, he makes the big shot. You saw the move there. Fowler went a little deeper that time, but it picked up a little sooner on him, too. By picked up, he starts hooking earlier on the lane.
Yeah, the lane breaks down over time, right? Especially under these hot TV lights. That's something that's often different, is that the TV lights make the lane break down a little bit faster, meaning the oil is going to be moving down the lane faster. You're going to have to adjust sooner than perhaps you normally would. That 1 pin isn't going to count for him coming out of the gutter.
It's a big spare conversion right here. Needs to hook, it doesn't. So they leave just a creek open here for Fremont. Fremont took advantage of that last game, and now they're going to try to take advantage of it again. So here's the situation. If Jacob Fowler can strike here, we have a 201 potential, 201-201 tie in the 9th. If both teams go off the sheet right now, it's tied at 231. But a big shot here for Jacob Fowler. Trip the 4, did not get the 10 to go. And so now Braden Lee just needs a mark. Has to mark. And that'll do it. That's a big one. What a shot by Lee. So game number 4 goes to Grand Island, and here we go. Once again, it's going to be a 5-gamer against these two outstanding teams. You come off the bench cold,
no,
you know,
that's the time to figure it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice for Ramsey Rathjen to get an opportunity here. Ramsey's just a freshman. Solid player, though. 269 high game, 666 high series. And there you see Mikey with a 9 spare.
Yeah, for Ramsey, this is a pressure situation a little bit, right? Everybody's watching, coming cold off the bench. No problem.
I like his hand. He's got good hand in it. 220 is the score for GI in game 4, and Grand Island will take the W. It has been back and forth, and here is Carter Vanek getting an opportunity to get in the state championship match. But Grand Island, the Islanders, even this at 2 apiece. Fremont opens up with a win. GI answers. Fremont takes a lead, and GI answers one more time. We head to the 5th. It's all knotted at 2 here in Lincoln.
The way we use electricity has changed a lot over the years. What hasn't changed is our commitment to make sure it's there the moment you need it. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
It is all even at 2. We have a deciding 5th here at Sun Valley Lanes and Games, as you see behind us. What John Lucido here at Sun Valley does such a great job with these championships. And Cadwalder will open it up in game 5. Hold it a little bit, but right into the hole. Got the 7 out.
Did John name this 44-foot pattern that he laid down?
I don't know if it's the Johnny O or the Lucido Special, or I'm not sure what he decided to call this, but he made it up. 44 feet, 6.25 to 1 ratio on this challenge pattern. 50 units of oil per board. All kind of numbers they put in there. Good shot. And that's a double to open it up for GI. Remember, these two squared off earlier today. They were both in the winner's bracket. They were both undefeated. Fremont opened it up and went up 2-0 in that one. GI came storming back, won 3 straight to stay in the winner's bracket. Fremont dropped to the loser's bracket. And in the match to make it here to the finals, Fremont knocked off Pius X 3-1 to make these championships. Thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, who coaches Pius X?
I don't know. They had a better coach than might be here.
Some guy.
That's pushed inside. Hey, it held. I mean, you saw it off his hand. He didn't think it was a good shot, but it held the line. He has so much hand in it that he got that finish at the back end to carry. And after that open, that was a big shot.
That's exactly what you need in that moment.
Well, the Islanders have decided to come out and put some pressure on right away. This is a big shot here for the freshman Wusk. Needs to mix, and he got it. He carries more light pocket shots than anybody I've seen. Half the time, he's just rattling those pins down there and getting them to fall.
Caden Kusala, another multi-sport athlete, lettering in football, bowling, and baseball for Grand Island.
And a big shot right here for Kusala. Got it! 4-bagger for GI to open up this 5th game. Need an answer here from Fowler. Sit. You saw that jump. It started picking up just a little too soon.
Braden Lee carrying a 3.9 GPA, All-State Academic Award recipient, 4-time honor roll, and a striker.
Wow, that is big. How about GI here in what could be a state championship final game, coming out with 5 in a row? That's a tough one there. And it is a commanding lead right now. And there is the first strike of game 5. And Kat Walder was all about it.
Love that energy.
And you know what? It's not just here. That's the kind of energy that kid brings in so many matches. I've seen it when we played him earlier this year. It doesn't matter if it's a single match or a tournament or what. It's that level of energy, and that's probably why he's the leadoff bowler.
Good for him. That's 100%. Yeah. That's the kind of energy you need in a leadoff bowler.
Absolutely.
Speaking as a leadoff bowler myself.
Did you do that too?
I
did you
did.
come back and kind of...
Sometimes.
You ever flex? No.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Crew's off in camp now, and Fremont really needs to get something going. This would be a big double. Remember, the freshman started off the match with 4 straight strikes. Can he get that back to the pocket? Can't, leaves the 2-pin. This is a almost 60-pin lead right now for GI. 6-0. And they are just stepping on the throttle right now. That needs to react. Yeah, that was right off the hand. They knew it. You saw him stand up. And a good cover by Off in camp.
He does a nice job of getting the ball out onto the lane. He's not dropping that. He's getting that out onto the lane. And what I mean by that is it's not landing down at the foul line and sort of trying to get into a roll from there, but he's getting it out so that it has some time to skid and then catch some roll once it hits the oil.
Chase Fowler just rips through it at the bottom, comes in high and leaves the Greek church. That is a tough one. Here is Austin Cinso. Austin has struck 6 straight times. Can he make it 7? Ooh, no. Got the 3, which is what you want in that situation.
Stinsel heading to Southeast for college to become a diesel mechanic. Close on that.
Well, speaking of strings, the freshman here, Andrew Wusk, also has 6 strikes in a row, trying to make it 7. That crosses over. This gets a little tighter crunch time, doesn't it? Needs to flip.
I feel like if he was 2 or 3 boards farther to the right with his feet, that would have been right where he needed it to be.
It's a good cover there. So now Hennings will try to stop the string of 2 consecutive opens for Grand Island. GI bowls out of west side lanes. Poplin and Keys families run it. And a good cover. That's what GI needed right there. 46-pin lead. And if Fremont's going to take this, they're going to need some help from GI. .186 is the best that Fremont can have. And really, Grand Island at this point, it just needs good count in the 9th and 10th.
Mm-hmm.
So a must strike here for Fremont. Gotta have it, and they don't. So despite being up 2-1, and earlier today, 2-0, GI, when it mattered most, made the shots. They come out here in Game 5, make 5 great shots, put 5 in a row on the board in the first 5 frames, and triple 4-pin there in the 9th. And that's going to give them the state championship. Handshakes, high fives all around. You saw head coach Paul Lee back there. Boy, what a great coach he is. They've only been a program for 1 year. They didn't have bowling at GI the first year. Second year, he found out about 2 weeks before the season started that GI was going to have a team. They won a state title last year, and now they win their 2nd straight state title. And here's another interesting point. You talk about program building. These 2 schools, Fremont and GI, not only competing for a boys state championship, but also they'll battle for a girls title as well. And these programs have really been built to support great teams. And so you see great teams in both of these making it here.
Such a powerhouse program, and it makes it so much more fun when you've got both boys and the girls side, right, that are high-level competition. They can compete with one another.
Paul Lee in the Nebraska Hall of Fame, his assistant coach, Brad Ernest, helping him as well. Comes in just a bit high, but it's going to be enough for a title. Only 2 teams have ever won an NSAA state bowling championship, and it's Grand Island and Fremont. Fremont won the first ever. GI has won the last 2.
What a great rivalry.
Yeah. Big hugs in the background there from Ernst and Lee. Braden Lee wraps it up. And you saw Paul Lee on the right there in the purple. Right there's Paul. He said to his son, Braden Lee, who is a senior this year, been a clear leader of this team. He said, I want you to finish it. Go out there and crush one. He's got his knockout in hand. Flips through it. They want them all, and they got him. That's a state championship. Back-to-back years for the Islanders. Congratulations once again to GI. The Islanders are state champs once again in the NSAA bowling world.
Live streaming for the NSAA Championships are also available at the Nebraska Public Media website and on the free Nebraska Public Media app.
Coverage of the NSAA Bowling Championships is made possible in part by Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest, Nebraska Public Power District, Nebraska Bowling Proprietors. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. Final 10 go right into the pit, and GI wins the state title. Great season, though, for Fremont. They finished runner-up. They won 7 of the last 9. Let's go to Heath Kramer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nebraska School Activities Association is pleased to present medals and trophies to both of these outstanding teams. Presentations will be made by NSAA Executive Director Jay Beller and NSAA Board of Directors, Dr. Dana Weissman from Sutton, Dr. John Cerny from Bancroft Rosalie, and Thomas Lee from Omaha Westview. Here are the awards for the runner-up, Fremont High School. Will head coach Mark McKenzie and your assistant please come to the lane area to present the silver medals to your team. Participants, please come forward as your name is called. Cruz Offenkamp. Connor Christensen. Chase Fowler. Jacob Fowler. Mikey Sexton. Carter Vanek. And Andrew Wusk. For these outstanding participants and their school, here is the 2023 NSAA Boys Class A State Bowling Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations, Fremont High School.
Well, congratulations to Mark McKenzie. He has such a great program at Fremont. Obviously, they won a state title the first ever year at the NSAA. Assistant Jess Sorensen and that team came so far this year. If you think about starting a year of 4-8 and then winning 7 of your last 9 and getting here into the state finals, a remarkable accomplishment, and congratulations to Coach McKenzie and that entire Fremont Tiger team. Hey, I want to remind you, if you'd like a copy of these state high school championships, you can get one just by calling 800-868-1868. You can also log on to our website at nebraskapublicmedia.org/sports and get your copy of these state high school championships. Back to Heath.
Now to the champions, Grand Island Senior High. First, head coach Paul Lee, we have a special award for you. Coach Lee and your assistant, please hand out the gold medals to your team. Participants, please come forward as your name is called. Cody Cadwalder. Brock Kramer. Jet Hennings. Caden Kusala. Braden Lee. Ramsey Rathjen. And Austin Sinsel. For these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2023 NSAA Boys Class A State Bowling Championship Trophy. Congratulations, Grand Island Senior High.
Back-to-back state champs in Class A. The Islanders win it again. What a finish. They finished the year 25-4, and they are once again the state champs of NSAA. We're going to hear from them when we come back here at Sun Valley Lanes. The final 10 in the pit, and they celebrate a state title.
There's a place in the middle of America where we stand up and stand out, bringing light that illuminates the best ideas and brings change. Understanding the heart of learning comes from the heartland. Nebraska Public Media is yours, a space and community for everyone. We tell stories and amplify voices so that all can be heard, all from a place that we call home. This is Nebraska Public Media.
Welcome back to Sun Valley Lanes and Games. State champs, the Grand Island Islanders for the second year in a row. And welcome back into Sun Valley Lanes. I am with the head coach of Grand Island, Paul Lee. And Paul, I saw it earlier today. You had this phenomenal match with Fremont. They were on top 2-0. You came back and won 3 straight. And then you find yourselves here in this championship. You're down 2-1. What is it about these guys that allows them to make those pressure shots in the biggest moments?
The boys just believe in each other, and they know that if they don't make a perfect shot, the next guy's going to step up and pick them up. So they handle it. It's easy to coach that.
You come out in that 5th game and you throw the front 5. Obviously, that was the big difference because at that point it's almost over. And then you get to the 10th frame and you look at your son and you say, take this, finish it. Talk about that moment.
Well, he's a senior, and he's had to put up with a lot of me.
Average coaching?
Average coaching at best. And so I felt he deserved it. I didn't want to stick somebody else in there because I'm a little harder on him than I am on the rest of them. And he's been a trooper in handling it, so very proud of him.
I thought it was a great moment. It was a great moment and a great decision, Coach.
It was. Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, congratulations. Let's bring in Caden Kusla. So 10 shots, 6 strikes, none bigger than the 2 that you threw in that final game. Talk about, stepping up in those big moments and making the big shots.
I mean, it's kind of just what I've grew up doing. I've bowled with a bunch of big people before. I mean, I've bowled with Jet and Braden for all my life, so I've got to be there for my boys. So, I mean, when the time is now, I've got to do it.
Well, congratulations on the state title.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's bring in Braden Lee. Braden, you've certainly been on these stages multiple times in big moments like this. What's this mean? Back-to-back state championships your junior and senior year, and to do it on this stage.
Yeah, this is a crazy feeling I'm feeling right now. I can't even describe it to you guys, but it's definitely going to be my memory for a long time.
What was it like when Dad looks at you and he says, take the final shot and put 10 back? Like he was expecting 10 in the pit, and you deliver and you turn around and you see this swarm of guys coming at you.
Well, actually, when I was throwing my shot, I could hear them all running behind me. But I knew that was one of the biggest shots in my career because senior year, going out with a bang.
Congratulations, Braden.
Thank you.
State champs once again, the Grand Island Islanders. They win it again. They are back-to-back state champs. When we come back, same 2 teams on the girls' side, Fremont and Grand Island for the state title.
The best high school basketball teams in the state compete live on Nebraska Public Media. Watch the NSAA Girls Basketball Championships, Saturday, March 4th, beginning at 9 a.m. Central and continue throughout the day. There's action in all classes. Visit nebraskapublicmedia.org/sports for game times. Live streaming will be available at our website and on the Nebraska Public Media app.